Hello, Scott here, and welcome to yet another completely unprofessional unboxing. And today's package here, as you can see by the stamp, comes from a wonderful site that's been around for, I'm going to say maybe a few months now, but it's this wonderful eclectic site, LFOSR. I'll throw the information down in the description here, but if you're looking for a bit of eclectic stuff and maybe something a little bit different, especially OSR items, and if you're looking for things that may not be available on other sites, such as Exalted Funeral or maybe the Melnisonian, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Arts Council, this is another place to look for that material. So with that, I'm not going to go into too much detail until I go ahead and open it up, but let's go ahead and dive in. So I've got my trusty steak knife here, the Coleman Camping steak knife, but I don't think I'm going to need it because the package itself was kind of damaged. I do believe LFOSR does, I don't know if it's in the States or not. It might be over in Europe, but regardless, even though the packaging was done right, I don't think it was treated well by the Postal Service. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of pull on this here, and there we go. Easy enough. So I'm going to pull this out. Whoop. Got dark all of a sudden. I'm still fiddling around with the new camera and the new sound. Once again, if you feel like the sound is off or even the camera's off, let me know. I'm still tweaking it, but anywho, maybe it's because due to the reflection of the packaging. So let me go ahead and get this out here. Quite a bit of stuff in here. Woof. Business card. Right. Go ahead and stack this up. Over here, we'll start with this. Okay. Might as well continue on. Oh, yeah, we'll go into detail as to what this is here. But first, let's take a look at this. So it took us a while to get the items to you. We apologize to say thanks for waiting. Take 5% off your next order. Very nice. Thank you. This is something that is nice to see every once in a while from companies that, we do understand that there's a bit of delay when it comes to shipping these days due to the COVID restrictions and everything else that's going on in this crazy world. But they didn't have to do this, but it's nice. It's very nice to have. And then also they included, I believe, I don't think I ordered this, but a little business card game here. If I can get it out, maybe. Around, there we are. Okay, so we'll just take a quick look at this, and then we'll get on to the meat of what was in here. We'll save that for later. Put that back. Okay, so the farm card. You own a farm. It's almost time to harvest. How will the crops fare this season? The RPG Farming Mini Game by LFOSR. And that's as far as I'm going to go, because I need reading glasses, and I don't think I can read that too much. Maybe it'll show up in the camera. Who knows? I think it says roll 1d4, then flip this card over to complete the sentence below. Okay. Let's see. Have a 1d4? All right. All right, here we are. Roll a 1d4, and then flip this card over to complete this sentence. I can read that. All right, there we are. 4. The harvest appears bountiful, but... Roll 1d4 to complete the sentence and discuss a solution. 3. The harvest feels bountiful, but the crops are giving off a foul aroma. Ew. After deciding how to handle the situation, throw this card into the air. If it lands title side up, the solution fails, and the season ends. If the card lands on this side, the solution is a great success. Roll 1d6 to continue the season, then discuss the outcome. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but next, add the previous die roll together. If the sum of the roll is even number, the season ends. Decide to either stash or sell the remaining harvest. If the sum is an odd number, roll 1d6 for the last day of the season. All right, discuss the outcome and end the season. Neat little card game, or neat little business card game. Hey, it's it's a little time waster. It's fun to do. Maybe if you're kind of in between games, you're hanging out with a friend just to pass some time, or just looking for something different. There you go. So I'm going to kind of set this aside for a moment and kind of go through this first. So what do we have here? What did I get from them? Well, what we have here is the printed version of Nave. I'm sure quite a few of you who are familiar with the OSR are familiar with Nave, and likewise Ben Milton, otherwise known as the Questing Beast, or his Questing Beast YouTube show, which primarily deals with reviews of the OSR. Ben, of course, has been quite an influence within the OSR, and additionally has produced several wonderful games that have been the cornerstone for the foundation of even more wonderful games. So LFOSR that did have the standard print version and also the deluxe print version. The deluxe print version sold out. I was able to pick up a copy of the standard here of Nave. I've never played Nave. I did purchase the copy when it was on drive-through a while back, and glanced through it, printed out my own copy of it, but never got around to playing it. Know that it is a wonderfully simple game, based on probably, the core foundations of what most people seem to feel represents the OSR gaming aesthetic. So let's take a quick look at it. And wonderful. Wow, I love that. I love the feel of this thick cardboard paper. Okay, so I'm just going to read you the first paragraph here. Nave is a rules toolkit created by Ben Milton for running old school fantasy RPGs without classes. Adding, subtracting, and modifying rules is both expected and encouraged. Nave features include high compatibility with OSR games, fast to teach, easy to run, no classes, abilities are king, optional player-facing roles, a copper standard, and a list of 100 levelless spells. So this is this would be something that would be fun just to give a go here. Seems easy enough to kind of just throw down and create something and just see how it works itself out. So I'm not going to go through the aesthetics of the rules here, but you can obviously, I believe Nave is free. The PDF is free on drive-through. So if this is the first time you've seen it and it seems like something that is within your ballpark, go ahead and check it out. So everything is pretty much designed through random rolls as you're creating your character. As mentioned, it's a coppered standard for the variety of rules and their costs. And the playing the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of your standard OSR Dungeons and Dragons type abilities here: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. And rather than having an encumbrance system, if I'm not mistaken, things are done through item slots. So you can carry so many items depending on how many slots you have available, and of course swap those out if you run out of slots. Very generic saving throws, reactions, combat system. Stunts are combat maneuvers such as stunning, shoving, disarming, tripping. So there's a stunt system within it. Dealing with advantage in combat, critical hits and quality, morale, healing, monsters, dealing with advancement. Whenever PC accumulates 1,000 experience points, they gain a level. And then we've got the magic system here and 100 levelless spells. Just a name of the spell and a base description of what it does. Of course, above and beyond that, entirely up to the players. It opens up a wonderful opportunity for people to be creative, is my understanding for Nave and other games such as this within the realm of the OSR that simplify the rules in order to maximize your creativity within the game. And then we conclude with the thanks for everyone that made this possible. And if I'm not mistaken, keep an eye out, because I know the second edition of Nave, I believe, is currently within the works. I know Ben Milton announced it recently, but not too sure where it's going with the whole Kickstarter fiasco that's going on with their situation with the NFTs. So I would assume it's going to be crowdfunded in one way or another, but not sure where. But of course, you can find that information on his YouTube channel or on his Twitter, if he has one. Yes, he does. And likewise, joining his Discord. Probably Discord would be the best place to go for that. And then you have, just like the system itself, a small little simple 2-page, well, small, that could be on one page, but 2-page character sheet. And that's all you need to be off and running in any variety of OSR-style games or role-playing games for that matter. It doesn't necessarily have to be OSR, but it gives you a very basic foundation to take off, and there you go. I forget, as mentioned by their card, the order was delayed. So I do forget if these were included. They're small little double-sided character sheets. These are nice. Several of them. And then we have this that goes with the other thing here. So we're going to set that aside. So there we are. So that's essentially Nave. Wonderful, wonderful game. So what is this? This is primarily what I went on to the website, LFOSR, to purchase. This, when it was announced, was said this was a limited edition game. There was only so many available to purchase. And after I found out, like situations like this, I had found out that this was, I think I was like the last one in stock that I grabbed. Just saw it on a whim. So what is this? Okay, this is Azag, A-Z-A-G. Hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Essentially written by Lex Mandrake, Chris Boudreau, Safia Aldolujan. Help me there. Artists included Luis Melo, the cover, Logan Stahl, interior art, and Daniel Walthall, world map. This, I believe, how I came into this was Diogo Noguera had posted posted information regarding this, and said, "Get it while it lasts." So, comes with a 2-volume set of rules. We've got Volume 1, the rules, and we have Volume 2, the world, and it comes with a wonderful little cassette tape with music by Loot the Body. Some of you may be familiar with them. And Dank Dungeons, number 92 out of 100. So there you go. And kind of pull this out. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Side A, 3 songs. Side B, 2 songs. Music by Loot the Body, and created by Dank Dungeons, released by LFOSR. You must travel far beyond the spider-hunted towers of Byzaren and the red mist of the yielding plain. The sleeping augur awaits through azure pylons inscribed with sigils both beneficent and doomed. If that's a wonderful opening lead into an adventure, I don't know what is. And yes, I do have a cassette player. And for some of the younger crowd, that is a cassette tape. Years ago, this was the only way we enjoyed our music, because this was before CDs, and at the time, you couldn't stick a vinyl record in your car, man. So your tape collection was the way it went. So set that aside and take a quick look at what Azag actually is. So go ahead and open this up, and there's a very long forward, which I'm not going to get into. But I think I'll just read the bottom part here. This is by Lex Mandrake. Very bottom paragraph. To wrap up, I feel really lucky to have been able to do this project. All the people I worked with really floored me with their contributions. A special shout out to my regular co-author, Chris. That would be Chris Boudreau. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And he's been humoring my idea for years and did a lot of heavy lifting here. I can't thank him enough for that. Basically, if you like the stuff in here, read the credits page. Go support the people like you're supporting me. Thanks, everyone, Lex. Okay, so we have a small little paragraph regarding safety tools. How to roll. There are two main types of rolls. Opposed rolls, often referred to as rolling against, and unopposed rolls, often referred to as testing. In either case, you roll 2d6 and take the total. Easy enough. Okay, social encounters are involved within the game. Social encounter mechanics are triggered when the players and the GM-controlled entity are at odds. Excellent. Roll in secret. Now the players roll 2d6 and their opponent rolls 2 of the die type designated by their disposition. Both the GM and the players hide their values for now. Okay, so just have a question there. I am kind of looking up because disposition is, let's see, italicized. So, yeah. You know, this is one of those things that may be a little bit of a complaint to certain people, but we're dealing with how to play the game. And this is in the very front of the book, and there's a variety of opinions on this. What should come first? Well, we see there's a lot of italicized information here. And, you know, some of those are self-explanatory, but some of those are system-specific. So I'm kind of just glancing through here, and I'm trying to find if there is a description of what disposition means. Okay, and I don't see one. So that kind of gets to be a bit of I don't know, a minor issue in terms to, you know, my personal preferences. I would like to know what that was before you describe what I'm doing with it. So those are little things that you know, in my opinion, would like to see front and center before we start going into how to play. Here are the building blocks, and here's what you can build with them. Not here's what you can build. Here's the building blocks and the tools describing what you can build, but I'm not going to tell you what those are until after the fact. Seems a bit reverse in my opinion, but as mentioned, that is my opinion. But I'm sure it's easily rectified. It's just one of those things that just makes reading easier. It's more of a natural flow for me. But anyways, but yeah, they do have some other information in the beginning, you know, how to roll, modifying rolls, the stats, which are nice to know, skill, stamina, luck. And granted, this is just an initial page through, so if I'm glancing over where disposition might be, I'm just not seeing it myself. But if it's described, I don't know, here, and I'm missing it, my apologies. Okay, and then so social encounters, roll in secret, up the ante, fold or double down, reveal and resolve. Okay, so we've got some gambling verbiage there, which, you know, nothing wrong with that. And then we got the rules. Combat in Azag is fairly free form. Okay, here we go. Important notes on combat. Unless stated otherwise, every combatant is only able to deal damage once in a round. Okay? With your GM's permission, many talents can be attempted untrained by substituting your luck stat. Fair enough. Feel free to attempt any kind of action you can imagine. Then work out with your GM which ability may apply and if the situation or task would impose any modifiers. That right there is kind of a standard OSR situation. You know, a little bit of there's a little smattering of rules there. The rules come up positive or negative, but then, you know, then it falls on the GM and or the player to define what those positive and negative outcomes are, depending on the role, which is great. We've got rules, measurements, time, distance, size, and weight, dealing with traveling. Okay, so that's good to note. So that's going to play, I can already tell this is going to play an important aspect within the world. Spending luck, so there's a luck mechanic, and using abilities untrained, which may be system specific to this, but I do feel that even in most RPGs that having a side note, like if I'm not trained in something, do I still get to try to perform it? And I do feel a lot of games out there miss something like that, which is good to know. Like, what if I don't have skills in swimming? Does that mean I can't swim, or does that mean I get to try? And some games do that. Some games, you know, give you a circumstantial outcome for, you know, if you're not trained in something. And others assume, in my opinion, that, you know, well, yeah, you do or yeah, you don't. But it is kind of nice to have something like this clarifying it. Okay, so we go through the character creation aspect, determine your 3 stats, generate 1 magic item, Choose 3 mundane items. Distribute a number of points equal to your skill stat among whatever talents and spells. Create 3 character traits. Write these as ways in which the character behaves using only a sentence or 2, using always or never. It's nice. Those are nice role-playing key points there. Talk with other players in your group to establish a group dynamic. Excellent. Then name your character. An example of character traits. I always act before I think. Yep. Examples of group dynamics. We enjoy conning unsuspecting rubes. Wow. I think that just described my son's usual campaign, not just an OSR situation. Easy enough. And then what to do between sessions. Character advancements, and we go into the details of the abilities, a variety of talents, different spells. Let's see here. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 spells. Wonderful little black and white artwork within here. Glad they're not just leaving white space, open white space. We've got some tables here dealing with magic items. Yep. Some monster descriptions within the world. Nice variety there. Very nice variety. And we close with the last monster, Zathagwa's Essence. Excellent. So, all right, so I'm just going to read the back here. Azag, you must travel far beyond the spider hunter towers of Viserion and the redness of the yielding plain. The sleeping augur waits through azure pylons inscribed with sigils both beneficent and doom. So that was what was on the cassette there. Azag is a complete tabletop role-playing game and 5-track instrumental album featuring a rule system inspired by the likes of Fighting Fantasy and Troika, in a setting inspired by Lovecraft's Dream Cycle, Howard's Conan, and Smith's Hyperborea. Excellent. Okay, so we're just going to set that aside there. And then next we've got Volume 2, The World. Wonderful drawing there. Kind of feel that this is almost a take on the that's a sleeping monster, but it does look quite a bit like the idol in the 1E Dungeons & Dragons cover. So we've got a map of the known world. Beautiful little map there. And then, so here is why I believe that I caught this on Diogo's Twitter feed. Looks like he did some short fiction regarding this. Okay. So kind of flipping through this, I do kind of like this. So rather than give you a gazetteer of the world or a set in stone description, hey babe, I'm recording right now, just so you know. Perfectly fine. We have short stories. So kind of a wonderful little, and just a one-page short story, which is great. So a variety of short stories describing various parts of the world, I would imagine, and to kind of plant seeds of ideas rather than give you a foundation of this is set in stone. This is just a description of certain things. My interpretation of it. I haven't read it yet, but I love this idea. I love this. Just give us a little story about somebody going somewhere, and then myself or the players will fill in the gaps after that. Okay, so we got a nice selection of stories. So then we go into some NPC generators. Another excellent thing. So the Coin Road NPCs and plot hooks. Fantastic. This is the kind of stuff that I love. I love random tables. I love generating NPCs and just kind of rolling to see what comes up. And, rather than trying to pull stuff from thin air. Some people are excellent at that. I can on occasion, but having something kind of give me a little shove forward does make it a little bit easier. And oftentimes, comes out with some wonderful variety of things to play with. So we've got the different places of the world, major regions known throughout the world and specific locations they're in. And here we have just a little paragraph description of it with a table here that you can roll or pick on. Fantastic. So just some adventure seeds. Going on and forward. Very simplistic piece there. And then we've got the last part. Okay, little empty white space there, but I do feel the layout and the format of this book, even though it's not inundated with artwork, there is enough within here that there's not a lot of gaps. There's not a lot of, a large amount of empty white space. The tables are clear and easily read for, a smaller book such as this. It's not jam-packed. So there we are. And then we've got the same cover. Wonderful feel to them. I mean, even though that these are small format, they are usable. The layout is very evocative of old school essentials. So it's an easy read for those who need glasses, or those whose eyes are getting older, such as myself. And then we have some character cards, double-sided, which is nice. Just like I said, I love this type of cardboard feel. Just okay, moving on. So yeah, nice, neat, little, cool-looking character sheet, and we've got 4 double-sided ones, and then we have the cassette. So there we are. So yeah, so this was the unboxing from the LFOSR website. Check it out. It's a beautiful website. It's really set up wonderfully and easy to navigate, easy to find the stuff. They don't have a giant variety, which is perfectly fine, but what they have is eclectic, and a lot of times you can find stuff there that is sold out in other venues. So this is wonderful. I can't say just my initial page through of this. Wow. I kind of feel like I want to put some other stuff aside that I'm working on just to set this up and explore this world, just because it seems easy to set up and get rolling, and can get a general idea of the world and just go out and just create, what this world of Azag, or Azag, however way you pronounce it, is. So yeah, excellent job. Lex, Chris, Safia, Luis, Logan, Daniel, and then also including Diogo, Mahar, and who else do we have here? So yeah, I mean, very glad, very, very happy with this. It's been a while since I've kind of purchased something without knowing too much about it, and have been very, very, very happy with the purchase, and just kind of looking forward to seeing how it is. So in conclusion, this has been another completely unprofessional unboxing, and I will put the information to obtain these if you're looking to purchase this or even Nave down in the description. Definitely check out the website, and look forward to some more unboxings coming up, and even more pulls from the shelf. I am Scott, and thank you for visiting my website. Visiting my YouTube channel, whatever. It's a Saturday, I don't care. Be sure and check out more that I have on there. Please give a subscribe and a like if you feel like it. No big deal. This is all just for fun. And also check out the podcast that I'm on called Titter Pigs with Keith from Rolling Boxcars. Be sure and check out his site also. And thank you all for joining me into this unboxing, and have yourself a wonderful day. Until next time.